Moms with aspiration, moms are inspirations, moms in circulation, moms at their workstations. Mom, they make a nation. Mom, this is a mom nation.
Hey moms, it's Katie here with More Than a Mom and my lovely co-host.
Hi there, everybody.
How are you doing today, Miss Beth?
Doing well. How are you, Katie?
Doing awesome. Very awesome. So good to have you here, of course. So moms, as you know, More Than a Mom is our podcast for our mom audience. And basically, Beth and I, we find other moms, or they don't have to be moms, do they, Beth?
No, not at all. We just look for an expert.
Exactly. Somebody with some expertise that can help guide us throughout all of the different topics that we deal with as moms, as women, as humans. So without further ado, we have the lovely Beth Griffith on the line with us today from She Works Here. Beth, introduce yourself.
Well, hi, everybody. My name is Beth Griffith. I am the owner of She Works Here, and I am so excited that you asked me to be on today. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you for your time and thanks for being with us. I'm super excited to hear just a little bit about what She Works Here is. Can you go into that for just a sec?
Well, really, She Works Here is a space for women who love to work. Primarily the women who come here, they're women who love to work on their businesses. And what we do is we do a lot of deep inner work here, as well as working to do what it takes to make businesses succeed, and just providing a space for women to work, really.
And that's like all encompassing. There's a lot of stuff there.
Oh yeah. So we do a lot of things from, trainings on marketing to finance, but also, like I was mentioning, that women who love to work on the inner work. So we do things from financial mindset to vision boards to just creating a space for people for women in particular, to step into the most powerful version of themselves through work.
Awesome. So that kind of is a good lead into our topic today, because there at She Works Here, you work with women on how to have a better relationship with money, right?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. It's something that I've actually done for a while, and I'm so excited to be able to do it live with people now.
Awesome. And is that tell me a little bit about that. Are these classes? Are they inspirational quotes? Is it workshops? Is it books to read? Is it all of those things?
It's all of those things, honestly. So we have a book club that people are able to join, and we focus on different topics that help people to become the version of themselves that can actually create more money. And so one of the books that we're reading soon, it's called The Alter Ego Effect. And one of the things that I've found that's really useful to help people make money is if you can step into an alter ego that actually is somebody that would make money. And so that's an example. But we also have a 6-week course for couples, as well as a 6-week course specifically for women, where women can come and learn how to work with their brain to make it so that they can make a lot more money in their lives.
And there's been some incredible results.
Absolutely. So I've actually run a 10-day challenge for financial mindset twice, actually 3 times. The top 10% of participants combined created over $500,000 in these 10-day challenges. So it's a big deal. It's a big deal. And people have gone from not being able to create income to suddenly turning their brain on so that they can.
That's a lot of zeros, Beth.
It is a lot of zeros. It's very exciting, especially because most of the people, when they start this 10-day challenge, they have no clue where that money could even come from. And we help them figure out how to find it.
So because there's like a positive mindset about money out there and there's a negative mindset about money out there, right?
Absolutely.
So share with us some of the characteristics of a negative money mindset. What would you describe that as?
Okay, so here's the thing is there have been studies done about people who are optimistic and people who are pessimistic. People who are pessimistic are typically very accurate. Meanwhile, people who are optimistic are not so accurate, yet they get better results. And so somebody with a negative money mindset, that this is going to start showing up in their bank account. And one thing that I always want to emphasize is that your bank account is a reflection of what's going on inside of you. And this is not to say that if you are broke, you are broken, or if you have a lot of money that you are, amazing. It's more important to go look at the individual transactions, the individual things happening with your money. And that can tell you, do I have a negative money mindset? Am I buying things because I want to impress people? Am I buying things because I don't value things unless I spend a lot of money on them? Or do I hold myself back from investing in myself because I am so afraid of what's possible in my life if I actually went for it? So really, where I recommend looking for, do I have a negative money mindset or a positive money mindset, is am I afraid of spending money? Am I spending money for all of the wrong reasons? And, am I really holding on to these stories that hold my entire life back because of something as disposable and temporary as money?
That's really interesting and a huge amount of information right there. And I really like the investing in yourself part, because all too often I see posts from moms that are so stressed and their cups are so empty, yet they continue to tell themselves that they quote unquote can't afford to help themselves. Let's talk a little bit about this, because I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, like not all self-care has to cost money, but some of it does. And how can we help women feel okay about that and worthy of the money they spend on themselves?
I'm so glad that you asked that. One of the things that I am so passionate about when it comes to money mindset, because there are so many people out there who will tell you, oh, if you aren't dropping thousands of dollars on yourself today, then you have a poor money mindset. I'm sorry. I so strongly disagree. It's more of a question of, am I spending money to make my life better? And do I let my life be ruled by the fact that, or by whether or not I'm spending that money? And so you can absolutely do some incredible self-care, and it can be free. This can be as simple as, you know what, I'm going to take a nap and I'm not going to feel guilty about it. Or
Yes.
I'm going to paint my own nails, right? And just simple little things that you already have that you don't have to spend money on. But it can also improve your energy. It can improve the way that you see yourself. And when you feel really good about how you see yourself, suddenly those decisions that you start making, that you've been making in that bank account, they're able to shift because you're taking care of you, not just everybody else. So
Because like attracts like. Do you agree with that?
I 100% agree with that. And there's actually some really interesting science behind that concept. So there's this piece of your brain called the reticulating activator system. And the reticulating activator system is a filter. This filter, in any given moment, there are 2 billion pieces of information that you could process. And your reticulating activator system filters out, is this something worth focusing on? And so if you are focused on, I am not allowed to spend money on myself, we're too poor, we're constantly struggling, guess what you're going to see? Your brain is literally wired to only see those things. So if you want to start attracting the things that you want to see in your life, then you have to change your thought patterns.
Makes total sense to me. And so with that, I kind of feel like my next question, this is like a good lead into my next question, because I feel like people are, depending on their mindset, they're a bit blind to maybe some sort of money sucking traps that they're investing in, that they could potentially change and then invest in themselves and have a much better outcome. Do you see any of that with the people that you work with?
Oh, so much. I definitely see a lot of that, where people, and you know what, I've actually seen this with myself. For a long time before I did Open She Works here, I was a brand strategist. I still am a brand strategist, but I've been a brand strategist. I built this 6-figure business and I was utterly miserable. I was exhausted all of the time. I actually was so stressed that I had hives the size of my hand showing up all over my body. And it was as simple as taking the money that I was bringing in and investing it in people that I could work with in person, to be able to have staff, to be able to have employees. And so it doesn't matter whether, it's somebody who she just can't justify going and getting her nails done, or whether it's somebody who's actually making a lot of money who's still not taking care of herself because of this money sucking mindset.
Right. Good point. Any tips and tricks to help remove those emotions of guilt, so women can be less stressed out about finances and really see the big picture more clearly and how things all kind of tie into each other?
Do you remember back in like the 2000s, I want to say, Eminem had this song come out and it was Slim Shady. And if you watch the music video for it, all of a sudden it's just a sea of M&Ms out there, and M&Ms meaning the rapper, not the candy.
I got hungry for a minute.
There's just tons of him, okay? And so this is really important, is to understand that that's what your brain is like. There's so many different things that you've been taught, so many different things that you've learned through experience, and also just being taught it by your parents or otherwise, that do not cooperate with helping you to have a positive money mindset. And so it's important to begin to tap into which voices actually support me going after what I want, which voices actually support me in creating the financial life that I want. For example, if you're asking the mom voice inside of your head, oh, can I go get my nails done? Or can I join that course? Or can I invest in my business in X, Y, or Z way? Your mom brain, she's always, always, always going to say, no, you need to spend that money on your kids. No, you need to take that money and you need to put it in savings. You need to ask somebody besides the mom in your head. So you need to start to tap into who are the other women that are hanging out in your head that actually support you spending that money on yourself.
It's a great point and a great visual, and you're so stunningly correct on that. So thank you for that visual for our audience. Any tips on how to find money when we feel like there just isn't enough?
Yes, absolutely. So this goes back to that reticulating activator system that we were talking about. You need to start looking for all of the little money that is in your life, because all of a sudden your brain's going to turn on to start to intentionally look for those paths that create more money. So first off, start to just peel your eyes and keep your eyes open for change on the ground. That's a simple one. When you go to the grocery store, start to pay attention to what's that, $1.78 that you saved. Start to pay attention to those things in those little ways. The next thing is start looking around your house, start looking around your life for what could I be selling that could make me money. We all have on average about $3,000 worth of things in our house that we don't actually need or use. And if you just started selling those on Facebook Market, you can find that you actually have a lot more money. What this does is it starts to train part of your brain to develop a neural pathway that looks for opportunities for money. And once you've really strengthened and really developed this neural pathway, all of a sudden, that neural pathway continues to look for money. And so suddenly you're able to get jobs that you weren't able to get before. You're able to ask for that raise that you've been wanting to ask for, but you didn't have the guts to ask for before. You're suddenly just going to see so many opportunities that are literally in front of your face, but your brain is currently filtering out and telling you it doesn't even exist.
I love that, because I feel like growing up, and now I'm a little bit older than you gals, but I feel like growing up, our brain was trained to not see opportunities.
Oh, I completely agree. And with the hundreds of women that I've helped with this particular issue, I can tell you I've seen that with pretty much every single one.
So breaking that pattern is like the biggest first step.
Yes, absolutely. So there's some different ways that we can retrain your brain, but some of them, it's mortal peril. Mortal peril is one of the biggest ways that you can change your brain. And your brain cannot tell the difference between whether you are in literal mortal peril or whether you're just throwing away a t-shirt that's defined your entire existence up till this moment. And so if you can start to recognize that this fear and tension and anxiety that you have around money is actually just the byproduct of, okay, this is how I've defined myself, and I have to let go of and allow this version of myself to die, it becomes a lot easier. Also, strong emotion is really, really powerful for changing your financial situation. And this is the kind of thing that happens with this repetition of, okay, I'm going to keep looking for money. I'm going to keep looking for money. I'm going to keep looking for money. And then you start to get excited because it actually starts to work out.
That's amazing. And I'm sure that this is just the tip of the iceberg of what you have to offer at She Works Here. Am I right?
Drop in the bucket.
I can only imagine. I've got like goosebumps all over because I love you. I love your message. I love your image. I love what you're doing. And I'm so excited that you are just giving yourself to women just to help them move along and really along the path that you did with yourself, because you've grown quite a bit in your years as well.
Oh, absolutely. So before I married my husband, the year that we got married at the end of the year. And when it came time for us to do taxes, he looked at how much I made the entire year before, and he was in shock. I had made less than $10,000 in the entire year. And so going from, that kind of a lifestyle to the point where, I've had a $35,000 launch of a program. I've had $20,000 in sales in a single month. I've had all of these incredible things where I've made more money in one weekend than I made an entire year before. And it just came down to, do I understand my brain? And am I willing to commit and be patient in the process of transforming my financial situation?
I'm in love with it. And that didn't come, and correct me if I'm wrong, but that didn't, the sky didn't just open up and say, hey, Beth Griffith down there, I'm going to throw all this knowledge at you. You got to work on this. You got to know what you want. You got to know what you're looking for. And sometimes it's helpful to have somebody uncover that for you. Am I right?
Absolutely. So I've worked with one-on-one mentors. I've worked through group programs. I've read a tremendous number of books. I began really studying how the brain works about 6.5 years ago. And I've just been diving deeper and deeper into it every single day I wake up, and cannot wait to learn more about how to hack the brain to help myself get better results. And even more importantly than that, help other women get results.
I love it. How can our audience find you and plug into everything that you have to offer?
Yeah, so we have lots of events at She Works Here. So you can go on to She Works Here on Facebook or sheworkshere.to. And you can come attend any of our events for the month of January and February. We're letting people attend our events for free, so you can test us out, see how it works. But additionally, you can go to bethgriffith.me. And on bethgriffith.me, you can explore working with me personally. But please, by all means, just find me on Facebook and add me. I love to meet women locally, and I love to be able to help them. And additionally, I'm really looking forward to being able to share these 6-week classes that are designed to help women with this exact process.
Love it. Now, do we have to be local to plug in with you?
You do not. So I have an online brand as well as an in-person brand. I have the in-person brand because, well, it's how I am happiest. But I have absolutely been able to, the hundreds of women that I've been able to help, it has primarily been online.
Love it. Miss Beth Easton, we have 2 Beths today. Beth Easton, anything that you'd like to ask Beth Griffith or add before we tie it up today?
Yeah, actually, I did want to just add something. I've taken 2 courses with Beth, And the first one was for me as an individual and a business person. And there were two things that I got from that course that I want to just share with people so they can kind of understand what results they can get when they have someone there to help coach them. And the first is that I figured out what self-care I actually needed. And the difference that that's made for my mental health has not only helped me be a better mom and more present with my kids, which I think is always important, but it's helped me personally not be so stuck in my own brain and so depressed that I can't function or do the things that I want to do. And so finding out what self-care I needed and actually applying that and keeping up with it has allowed me to grow my business. It's allowed me to have a stronger relationship with my spouse, and it's allowed me to build more friendships. And so that was one thing. And then the other thing, which is more money related, was that I was able to create $1,000 in 5 days. And that was just me. Like, that wasn't counting anything my husband did. That was just the income I could create because of what Beth helped me with. So if you guys are struggling, I strongly recommend you just reach out to Beth and see what she can
That's
offer.
amazing. What a testimonial.
Yes, thank you so much. I love hearing about your results, Beth.
You're welcome.
My
Thank
pleasure.
you.
All right. Well, lovely ladies, again, thank you for spending your time with me. Always a pleasure connecting with you both. And moms, we are the More Than a Mom podcast. And if you have any questions for us, anything that you would like for us to answer, or perhaps an expert that you'd like for us to interview for you, you can reach out to us at momnationaz@gmail.com. and visit us at momnationusa.com. Please don't forget to like us, follow us, and comment on whatever platform that you're listening to us on. And we hope you have an awesome day. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Moms with aspiration, moms are inspirations, moms in circulation, moms at their workstations. Mom, they make a nation. This is a mom nation.